let's be honest. If you're here, you're probably not buying your first stand mixer. You've already been through the excitement of that shiny tilt head model, only to find out that once you start making bigger batches, denser doughs, or using it several times a week, it just can't keep up. Maybe the motor started to strain. Maybe you had to pause halfway through a mix just to scrape the bowl for the 5th time. Or maybe, like a lot of people, you're simply tired of using something that feels more like a toy than a tool. I get it. I've read the same questions you're probably asking right now. Is this too much mixer for a home kitchen? Will it fit under my cabinets? Is it really that much better than the smaller KitchenAid models? And maybe most of all, is this worth the investment, or am I just paying for the commercial label? That's exactly what we're going to unpack in this video. Today, I'm going deep on the KitchenAid 8-quart commercial bowl lift mixer. This is a serious piece of equipment, and my goal isn't to convince you to buy it. It's to help you figure out whether it fits your kitchen, your workflow, and your expectations. Because while this mixer is built like a tank, there are a few real trade-offs you should know about, especially when it comes to handling smaller batches and how easy it actually is to work with daily. I'll walk you through those in detail. If you're the kind of person who likes to compare specs, accessories, or read verified buyer reviews, I left a link in the description and pinned comment where you can explore more details and see what other users are saying. And if this video helps clear up some doubts or saves you from making the wrong choice, a quick like really helps this kind of content reach more people who are asking the same questions you are. Now, let's take a closer look at the design and build quality. Because when you're spending over $1,000 on a kitchen appliance, the feel, the finish, and the materials matter a lot. One of the first things you notice when unboxing the KitchenAid isn't just the size, it's the presence. This machine looks and feels like a commercial tool, because it is. From the thick, brushed stainless steel components to the industrial bowl lift mechanism and the signature Empire Red finish, everything about this mixer signals durability and function. It stands about 16 inches tall, a little over 14 inches wide, and just under 13.5 inches deep. That's important if you're planning to keep it under a cabinet. You'll want to measure your space first. It's not a tilt head design, so you don't need overhead clearance to raise the mixer, but you will need enough vertical space to comfortably load and remove the 8-quart bowl. Now, this is a bowl lift model, which means the bowl is cradled by 2 solid arms and raised into position with a side-mounted lever. The advantage here is stability. When you're mixing heavy dough, think bagels, pizza, panettone, the bowl stays locked in place. No rattling, no shifting, no strain on the motor housing. That mechanical lift gives the beater consistent contact with the bowl from start to finish. The materials used here are no afterthought. You're getting a full stainless steel construction on all the major components: the mixing bowl, flat beater, dough hook, and 11-wire elliptical whip. These aren't lightweight or decorative. They're NSF Certified, dishwasher safe, and built to handle years of repeated use. If you've ever had aluminum-coated attachments chip or corrode, this is a major upgrade in both safety and longevity. The bowl guard is another standout feature. Some people see it and think, do I really need that? But here's the thing. In a commercial or home environment where other people might be in the kitchen, kids, assistants, even curious pets, that guard adds an extra layer of safety. It also helps prevent utensils, towels, or other tools from accidentally falling into the bowl while the mixer is running. Another design touch worth noting: the bright orange power cord. It's a commercial kitchen requirement, high visibility for safety compliance, but it also gives this model a unique industrial look. It's not everyone's favorite aesthetic choice, but if you're using it in a shared or professional space, it makes a lot of sense. Weight-wise, this mixer comes in at around 25 pounds. That might sound heavy, and it is, but it's a plus in daily use. That extra weight keeps the unit planted during high-torque mixing and eliminates the usual walking mixer issue you get with lighter machines. You can set it on your countertop and trust it's not going anywhere. And while the finish may look sleek, it's also highly functional. The powder-coated housing resists smudges and fingerprints far better than the polished chrome finishes on some smaller KitchenAid models. That's a small but welcome detail if you like your kitchen looking clean without constant wiping. One potential downside, because this mixer is designed for larger batches, the bowl is also tall and narrow, which can make it harder to scrape down the sides or add ingredients mid-mix. There's no included pouring shield, and some users find it awkward to maneuver a spatula inside while the beater is in place. It's a small inconvenience, but worth considering if you often mix in add-ins like chocolate chips, nuts, or dried fruits. Overall, the design and construction of the Kitchen Empire are clearly aimed at serious users, whether you're a home baker pushing the limits or a small business owner looking for something that won't flinch under pressure. Once you start using the KitchenAid, the difference in power delivery becomes clear almost immediately. Unlike standard tilt-head mixers that rely on belt-driven motors, this model uses a gear-driven, high-efficiency direct current motor. What does that actually mean in everyday use? It means this machine doesn't struggle. Whether you're kneading 8 pounds of whole wheat dough or slowly incorporating cold butter into flour for a pie crust, the torque remains steady and strong. The 10-speed control dial gives you precise command over mixing intensity. Speed 1 is ideal for folding in delicate ingredients without overworking them, while Speed 10 whips cream or egg whites into stiff peaks quickly and evenly. And thanks to the soft start feature, the mixer begins gently before ramping up to full speed, which prevents sudden flour clouds or batter splashes all over your kitchen. One standout in real use is how quiet the motor is. Even at higher speeds, you can hold a conversation nearby without shouting. That low operating noise comes from the efficient motor and the minimized friction of the internal gear system, making it much more pleasant to use in a home kitchen compared to older, noisier models. Then there's the Power Knead Spiral Dough Hook, which isn't just a clever name. It mimics the motion of hand kneading, stretching, and folding the dough without overworking it. For someone who bakes bread regularly, this function saves time, energy, and wrist pain. The 11-wire elliptical whip adds another layer of efficiency. It introduces more air into mixtures faster, which means lighter meringues, fluffier whipped cream, and more volume in less time. You'll especially notice this if you've ever tried whipping a full batch of egg whites in a smaller mixer. It's not just faster, it's also more consistent. The mixer handles large and small batches equally well, though as we'll explore later, there are a couple quirks when working with very small quantities. Still, for most recipes, especially in larger volumes, the performance is nothing short of professional. Using the KitchenAid Empire daily is not just about raw power, it's about how manageable that power actually feels in your kitchen. And that starts with the controls. The speed dial is large, clearly marked, and has just enough resistance to avoid accidental changes. You will appreciate this when your hands are slightly messy with dough or batter, and you still need precision. Because this is a bowl lift model, the lifting mechanism does take a little getting used to. It is not as quick as a tilt head, especially when you want to scrape the sides or switch attachments mid-recipe. But once you get the rhythm, it becomes second nature, and the stability it brings more than makes up for the added step. In terms of cleaning, here's the honest part. This is not a quick wipe and go mixer. The attachments are dishwasher safe, which is a huge plus, but the main unit and bowl require hand cleaning. The bowl's size makes it a bit bulky to rinse out in a standard sink, so if you have a smaller sink, be prepared to do a little maneuvering. That said, the smooth powder-coated finish on the body makes wiping down splashes easy with just a damp cloth. The bowl guard also has to be detached and cleaned separately, which isn't difficult, but it adds an extra step. Still, for anyone working in a shared kitchen or around kids, the safety trade-off is absolutely worth it. Now, one real limitation that a few users mention, when you're mixing very small quantities, like a single egg white or half a cup of cream, the beater may not reach deep enough into the bowl to mix efficiently. If you often make tiny batches, this might be a minor annoyance. But for most users, especially those working with standard or large recipes, the usability is smooth, the cleanup is manageable, and the reliability over time is what makes this mixer stand out. It feels built not just to perform, but to keep performing week after week. At the end of the day, the KitchenAid Empire is not just a stand mixer, it is a work companion for serious cooks and passionate bakers. Whether you're scaling up your baking at home, running a small business, or just tired of burning out motors and replacing mixers every few years, this model offers the kind of power, stability, and build quality that earns its spot on your countertop. It is not perfect. The large bowl can be awkward with small batches, and the bowl lift mechanism is slower than a tilt head when it comes to quick adjustments. But those are the kinds of trade-offs that make sense when you value reliability and long-term performance over convenience in the moment. What stood out most in researching and breaking this machine down was the feedback from people who've used it daily for years and still describe it as their most trusted tool in the kitchen. If you've been considering a serious upgrade and this video helped you feel more confident about what to expect, let me know in the comments. Have you used a commercial stand mixer before? Do you bake professionally or just love doing it at home? And if you want to explore more about this model, I left a link in the description and pinned comment with full specs and user reviews. Don't forget to like the video if it helped you make a more informed choice, and subscribe if you want honest, real-world reviews like this for more kitchen tools.